The street got me honest, feel like I'm crying my heart out. The streets got me exhausted, feel like I'm crying my heart out. I'm just a sinner, trying to repent for the wrong routes. The shit I done dealt out. Oh, the street got me honest, feel like I'm crying my heart out. As I put on my black gloves and wrote on my black mask, it's murder, man, I gotta sin again.
Yo, this is Benjamin's Room Podcast, episode 29, and we here with a very, very special guest. Jeremy, let him introduce himself.
What's up, man? My name is B. On Instagram is 1ILBEE, originally Lil Bee, whatever you want to put it. My first page was deleted for some shit over the loss of my brother, but we here, man.
And we back from a long hiatus, you dig? Man, B was somebody I've been trying to get in, you dig? Like they say, two mountains might not meet, but two people gonna always meet. And me and B locked in almost at the beginning of my journey, you dig? You was fucking with Ross, he had a studio over there, we was really like moving things. But the way New Orleans is, the way the streets is, like, ain't nothing really 100% forever. And so while it's good, you gotta get it while the getting is good. And when it's time to move around, you gotta know you gotta move around. And living in New Orleans, we kind of built like that because you can have all your ducks in a row and a hurricane come in, but you gotta go. And you gotta go make it work. And if you want to come back and rebuild, you come back and rebuild. If not, if shit plus where you at, you might stay where you at for a little while. Home gonna always be home because this bitch not really going nowhere. So and a lot of the people that you leave behind, they gonna be, some of them people gonna be in them same spots when you get back. It is, some of them gonna be in advance and you're gonna be able to lock in and make business that makes sense, but some of them gonna be in them same spots, and that's just is a way of life here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy I was able to lock in with you because
man, you know that.
It's it's organic, because you come from the beginning of when I first started. We first started a podcast, you dig? And you was like, and Doc was like, man, and everybody kind of got behind it, and it really gave me that vision.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember when you was actually just trying to figure out, like, the way, which way. Like, I didn't watch it from the sports with the kids. I didn't watch the progress. See, a lot of people, I fall in love with people, and I fall in love with progress.
Right.
That's just the way it is. That's two things that make sense.
Right. But one reason I really wanted to get you in here, because not only you motivate a lot of people that people don't even know that you behind the scenes on.
Motherfucker ain't gonna tell you like who motivated them or who, you know what I'm saying? I just say it like this. When a fuck up do it, it give everybody motivation, because it's like, if he could do it, I could do it.
And that's real shit. And I really wanted to get you here basically so you could tell your story, because you have a real legacy behind your story and how you got to where you at and what makes you you. And I really wanted to give you a chance to really express that on a platform. And I'm just happy that it's my platform that I'm able to get you, me and KP, because we've been locking in with everybody in the city.
I appreciate that.
It's only right that we lock in with you.
See, I see everybody coming through and things like that, like the new artists, some of the old artists, different things like that. I like to see it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you know, being in a position where, like, you know, you got the buzz, different things like that. Don't ever be arrogant. Don't ever forget about nobody. I ain't saying that because I never been arrogant. I never forgot about nobody. But one thing I'm going to say, don't forget about yourself in the midst of it.
What do the St. Bernard Project mean to you?
It's just like, you know, it's the neighborhood. You know, I was born in the project, born and raised in the project. My grandma stayed on Brookshire, so it was just a back and forth thing for me. But the project, you know, just a way of life for some people.
Right.
Real shit.
And what would you say your story start?
My story start, like, you know, basically just knowing what I want at a young age.
Right. Yeah. Right. So tell me this. You're in a project. What's the goal? Because when we think, like, I ain't grew up in a project. So when we think of project kids, we think, hell, these motherfuckers about to be dead. Jail, you dig? But in reality, that's where most of our real organic millionaires, billionaires really came from, out them same hoods.
I'm gonna say this, like, all right, like, I had a fair balance, like, and my mama stayed in the project my grandma stayed on Brooksell. For the people that know that shit, probably 2 blocks up the street, like
Right.
the houses.
Right.
But it's like, I say this, for the people before me, like, you know, my grandma, my uncle, my dad, and my mama, you know, they was in the street. They made a way, and they bought property on the outside the project to give a balance. Like, my first school was St. Raymond. That's right there in the project. But at the end of the day, that's the Catholic school.
Right.
Then I went to Nelson. Then I went to E.D. White, Benville, different shit like that.
Right.
That's all right there.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like they did different things for me to see different things, not
Right.
just the project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I grabbed the hood to sports. So it was like, I'm really growing up with my team members, like my coach son, different shit. I'm at my coach house. I'm in the project, you know, doing whatever it do, but I'm going through different shit till like 12. That's when shit just, you know, got to the point where you start seeing and start doing different shit.
Right.
Then that's when you realize where you at.
Right, being
Real
exposed to
shit.
something different.
Yeah.
And I always said this. Well, I fuss with the people on my page a lot because they don't understand the value of community. And the reason why, because I told them, I said, look, when you from the Seventh Ward, right, and you
Right.
go to school at Cull,
Right.
and you go to school way away from your house, right?
Right.
And you raised by a single parent, what's the odds of your parent popping up at school? Or what's the odds of your parent building a relationship with your teacher? Because she ain't gonna have time to, she work 40
It's
hours,
slim.
she might work another job and all that. So it make you able to be a little bit more loose. When shit all just in your neighborhood, like when you go to school here, your mama go to work
Not
there.
to cut
she
you
might-
off. Look, check this for everybody. Man, if you in elementary, that first year she signed you up, like, she coming back for when you suspended and shit like that, but you don't even got to register no more.
Right.
Like, till you go into another school.
Right.
So just say, for instance, if you was in elementary until 6th grade or some shit like that, when it's time to go to junior high, that's when she coming to go to the other school to sign you up. Other than that, it's for some disciplinary reasons or some shit like that.
Right.
Like, get to a point where sometimes, fuck, I'm bringing myself back after suspension.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then not only because a nigga parent ain't just not giving a fuck about him, we got more siblings on top of, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she ain't working, where we gonna be at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
this shit different. Like I said, forgot what song, but I'm like, McDonald's needed that for 3 kids, get out for 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's just the way this shit go.
Right.
Real shit.
Right. And the Seventh Ward kind of special. You know, when I lived in the Seventh Ward, I made the most money I probably made on the streets in my life.
How about?
Because cause I'm from across the river. I
Right.
moved to the east. Then I moved to the Seventh Ward. I'm like, damn, like this bitch is the middle of everything.
It's in the
Like,
middle. I was
that
about
bitch,
to
like
tell
you
you that.
5 minutes from everywhere in the city.
So
like
that always, that's what gave me. See, my mama was a waitress.
Right.
And living in the Seventh Ward, like, it taught the element of money so fast. We got Jazz Fest. We got, like, the second lines. We got a lot of shit that come around that give you opportunities to sell something. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? I was
Right.
like probably like 7. Before kids was at the Jazz Fest, where that little kid at with that water bottle at in front there, that's a statue.
Right.
They put that, I was the first kid right there, 7. I'm talking about, man, I probably used to make like $5,000 selling water. My grandma started me off like 5 cases of water.
Before the Atlanta Water Boys.
Before that,
Let's
shit
stamp
late.
that. You're...
Yeah, I ain't lying. That's before that. But you know what I'm saying? And then when it came to, you know, it's just like it opened you up to a hustle. It opened you up to all type of shit, from chicken fights to dog fights. You know, we had a lot of shit in the community that other parts of the city or different shit ain't know what was in the community.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like down there, a whole nother casino
Yeah.
inside where we at, dude.
Right.
In our world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it just give you, move a little fast, but you know what I'm saying? It's to each his own because a lot of shit come with it.
And it shape you.
Yeah.
And like a lot of my partners out the Seventh Wall, you can't count them out. Like at 6th Wall, 7th Wall, you can't count them out
In the
because you ain't no telling, motherfucker. You might see them, they probably ain't got shit. 2 years later, 6 months later, the motherfucker might be a whole millionaire. So you
Yes,
like, boy, what
indeed.
you been doing, boy?
And then
Like-
on top of that, like I had to privilege of my daddy being from uptown, my mama being from downtown. So it's like I always was uptown. You see what I'm saying? Most niggas ain't neutral, so they don't really know uptown. See, uptown gave a nigga something too.
Right.
It's like you see the moving fast of the 7 Wall. Uptown different, they moving fast too.
Yeah.
Like a whole different level. But at the end of the day, one thing I know, like, it's more togetherness up there.
Yeah. Because you ain't have to leave. The uptown and the east are very, very similar in the sense that you don't have to leave this motherfucker. Like the east, motherfucker used to get money uptown, move to the east. Go buy my house in the east.
Yeah, that's
and
what-
you ain't have to leave the east
what it
unless you ain't
was.
gonna see your people
Real
uptown. But
shit.
you ain't really have to leave the
Real
east.
shit.
Everything you needed was they got a park in every fucking neighborhood. They got corner stores.
That's
You
when it
ain't gotta
seemed the
leave
rich
this
to
bitch.
move to the east.
Yeah,
That's
boy,
what,
you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember them days, man. I felt like, man, one time, I don't know if a lot of people know about the days in on Reed or Bullet. Where that brothers at?
Which
Reed.
brother? Crowder?
Bullet, yeah.
Bullet. All right. Bullet, right.
They had that days
By
in behind it.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, on the run behind there or something.
Yeah,
Wind run and shit.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
check this out. Like, they used to have a days in right there.
Right.
Like, the East was so privileged to the point I ain't know where my uncle took us to swim at till I made like down there 15 years old. I thought we went out of town. Bitch, we went on Bullet. Then the kick part, I ain't gonna never forget it. I had some He Got Game 13. Every time I got these Jordans, I'm talking about if that was 98, I got the business again in 202. Nigga stole one of the shoes. In 98, nigga stole one of the shoes. In 2002, I met Gregory. Bitch, we had lunch playing pitch-up tag. Bitch, I come back to one shoe. We had the pool in. Bitch, I come back to one shoe. I used to be like, when we went out of town, my uncle, somebody stole my shoe. Bitch, we went on Bullet. Real shit.
Not
man.
even knowing. It
Just-
felt like
yeah,
out of
that's
town.
what it felt like,
It felt
for
like
real.
out of town. The East done changed a lot, you heard me?
Yeah, man.
But what was some of your influences? Because you tell me about your mom working, right?
Yeah.
Being a kid in school. What was some of your influences that kind of guided you to the streets?
Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, dog, it was like, you know, my mama in it, my dad in it, my grandma in it, my uncle in it, my auntie in it. You know what I'm saying? They always kept it away for a little while. You know what I'm saying? My grandma died when I was 15. It was like this growing up. Like, before me, I'm talking about, you know, kings and queen pins. You know, I come on the back end when the house getting kicked in, they getting indicted, different shit like that.
Right.
See, I come in on the struggle. So at the end of the day, it's like I'm watching family damn near fall apart. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't read. I'm 30. I couldn't read till I was like 27. So at the end of the day, it's like most niggas choose this shit. Like, nigga, I cheated on an application and got caught at Pat O'Brien.
Right.
Bitch, my mama gave me a whole cheat sheet. I felt bad as a motherfucker. But then what I'm telling you, like, running to the street, if I had to say so, my mama struggled.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what took a nigga in. Like, no excuses to it. I ain't do this shit like jumping this shit like to buy some Nikes, some Jordans or some shit like this. I jumped in this shit to become a help.
Right.
Like, real shit. Nigga, I rode my siblings to school on a bike and didn't rode myself to school.
Right.
I bought school clothes, ironed school clothes, did all that.
Right.
Still being a student. I'm still a kid going to school.
With JC, I'm hustling while my big sister still playing with Barbie.
Real
you
shit.
did like, the reality of a ghetto kid.
Right, that's
you know what
what
I'm saying?
it
So all right. After you taking care of family,
Right.
You learning your way around the streets.
Right.
Where that leaves you at? Like where you at then? Tell me that
All
story.
right. It led me, I'm going to keep it real. Like, man, when I first decided that I was going to help my family, I ain't play with this shit. Like, I ain't get in it to participate with niggas or compete with niggas and different shit like that. I always had a good hand in it. So at the end of the day, like, you know, from traveling to make the business happen, to get back, to construct the business, to moving and different shit, I had a good hand to do it on another level. So, you know, I ain't like these rap niggas like, I got bricks and different shit. Like, I had my hand in it for real. I ain't gonna sit here and just go word for word like that, but it was better for me. So I got indicted. I went to the feds at 17. Damn. Like, so it's just like...
What that was like?
What it was like, a big old college.
What? The feds?
Like, yeah. Then
all right. You're 17.
Yeah.
You're 17. You getting indicted, right? You ain't never been indicted before.
No. Juvenile jail.
But what's going through your mind?
My mama just told me stop serving them white people the day before that.
Damn.
Yep. And there you go. Indicted. I call home. I'm like, man, I'm such and such and woo woo. I ain't even know how to explain the shit. I just know I'm in Tucson, Arizona. Real shit. And then as I get up there, you know, I'm thinking, you know, fuck money laundering, 200 to 2,800 gram distribution of heroin to Danny or real CI nigga. I was served for like 3 months, some shit like that. I don't know.
Damn.
Real shit.
So
when I got there, you know, I ain't know how that shit worked.
Right.
You know, nigga gotta show that paperwork, different shit like that. So I'm thinking I'm a big homie. I'm in the feds. Not knowing, man, they got niggas in here for motherfucking house full of shit. Rich niggas, different shit. That's why I said it became a college.
Right.
For a solid young nigga, this young, ain't telling, different shit like that. You think about it.
Right.
30 months, that shit over like that.
Right.
For the nigga that ain't never going home, I'm his best friend.
Right.
Think about it.
Because you know you come, right. So I can only imagine, because I hear stories about the Big Meech, and like, you know, people like that.
I'm gonna tell you, stories like that, if I ever made that much money, I wouldn't have went to jail. Me fucked up. Real shit.
How you feel about Meech's situation? Cause
I feel like this, he a stand-up nigga.
Right.
Like, you know, dude really from Detroit.
Right.
I had a pass in Atlanta in like 07 before they got indicted to really see them dudes in real life. Like, you know, I'm the young nigga with the big niggas going on a trip, so I'm seeing niggas like that was like, you know, they was what they said they were. That's what I could see. Right. Other than that, like, you know, Big Meech. Fuck.
Who could you compare Big Meech to in the city? Like, as for, you know, like...
I ain't gonna never do no shit like that, because the simple fact is, like, I don't give, like, a lot of niggas credit, and I'm gonna say, because you don't know what go on behind closed doors, different shit like that. Like, as far as a Big Meech story, that shit told. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got respect for a lot of niggas, but I can't say I value them to know another nigga. I'm gonna value them to who they is. Right. That's just like you. I'm gonna value you from your actions and who you is and your word. Like, I can't say, oh, he like Big Meech. Right. Big Meech say this or say that. The next nigga might say this or say that. His actions might have was this, but I'm gonna be the judge of how I feel about the next nigga. I ain't gonna just value him to a nigga though. Right. I don't know no nigga in New Orleans that made $265 million and got indicted.
God damn.
If they make $265 million in New Orleans and he doing his thing and ain't get indicted, I don't even want to say his name. The fuck? The fuck? Man, he got power. Real shit. Like, he got power for real. He ain't doing that.
All right. So you 17, you in the phase, that time passed fast for you?
Fucking right. Do it.
So when you come home, what you do? So your first day out, like what?
Pussy. What you mean?
But when you stayed, you wasn't in Arizona though, you came home?
They fly your ass back.
They fly you back to your home?
Not in that great plane, but in the real one. Yeah, they fly your ass back. I'm home.
So they drop you off JFK?
What? They drop your ass at that airport? It depends on, like, as far as, like, where you going. Because you'll get flew somewhere and have to catch the Greyhound on your motherfucking ass. Right. But it so happened, JFK is an international spot, and I'm really was false. So, you know, yeah. Right. It got me home.
So they got you home. So first day, take me there, your first day back. What's on your mind?
Like, basically, to keep it real, everything that I wrote down, every time I got out of prison, I executed. So, as far as from my first mobile detail company, which was Great Reflection Mobile Details, I did that. As far as Take Pride Auto and Body Shop, I opened up the shop. like, so I did everything that was planned and put my foot back in it.
Right. So you back in the city.
And I made my first child.
As soon as you came home?
I was 19. Yeah. 19 about to make 20. I made my
So now you're a dad.
Yeah.
So all right.
A few months later.
So all right. So now you done been through this whole struggle, right? You done took care of family. Now you're a dad, right?
I've been a dad.
What's your focus? But what's your focus now? Because now you got your son.
I never had that felt like my little brother that got killed. That always been my son.
Right.
My sister children, that always been my children. My siblings, me and my sister, I'm gonna go get the bread. She old enough, lights, rent deposit, different shit like that. I never ever had like 12 and shit. Like, that's before I had to start thinking about that type of shit.
Right.
But other than that, when I didn't think about, like, I don't know if you saying that because it's my kid, but what's the difference between my son, my brother, and my nephews and nieces?
Right. And the only reason why I ask you that, because I'm a person who come up I come up taking care of all my nieces.
Yeah.
So, and people, like a lot of people, they try to, because I take care of my nieces still. My nieces in college right now. They graduating.
Now, what that mean?
And people ask me the question, and I be feeling strange sometimes because I don't really see a difference.
Right.
Like I don't feel
kind
a
of
difference in
blood.
my child. Like even though it's my child, like
It's
I don't
blood.
feel no difference because
if anything, you knew them before you knew your child.
Facts. So that's why it's funny you were saying that because you the first person I met that really expressed the same.
Yeah, that's
feeling.
the same.
I always feel weird that I don't value my children over them. You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed
like,
to feel weird. I mean, let me tell you something. See, to be in love with people is to understand people. Like, I understand that, all right, I made you, right? You have your dad. Do your nieces have the active father?
Not really like that.
So why you ain't supposed to step up?
Right.
I would never ask you that question.
Right.
See, people that ask that are not understanding people.
Right.
Like, or have some bit of selfishness. Because at the end of the day, my children, all 6 of them, will walk through that door and tell you, that's my daddy and God my daddy. Somebody else might need my daddy to help them.
Facts.
They understand that. Like, if I tell them I'm helping somebody, I'm never going to put them to the side.
Right.
But I'll get that. Let me come help you help them.
Right. And you know, I be on that park. So like when I have all them kids on the park, we do a 7-on-7. Sometimes I got 40, 50 kids, right? I'm the only adult out there. But one of them children get hurt. They mama come and talk to me. And that's something I be trying to explain to them. Like, look, we're going to pray before we do this.
Yeah.
We go, look, anything y'all got going on, leave that shit outside the
Remember,
park.
I try to start the team. Like, it's just like another person had a goal of doing that. Like, that's a goal of mine. But, you know, I'm trying to stay active in the things that I need to be active. But I still want that to come true.
Right.
So I understand that, too. Like, you taking the time out to actually give to a kid that might not go home to what your kid going home to.
Facts.
Like, if I had to say it, I was like coach's boy. Like, when they be like, man, he bad, who is people, woo, woo, woo. Go holler at L.
Right.
That's what it was.
Right.
And I'm talking about Coach L.
Coach L
He coached from
Train?
Joe Brown, Puncher Train, Joe Brown, St. Aug. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what's so funny?
I know everything funny.
L is over the All-Star team for
Ben, that's why I'm telling you, nigga, I had MVP, bro. Listen, I fumbled. Man, that man bat me so hard and spit in my hand. Nigga, I ran like 5 more touchdowns. Every time I scored, I was talking that shit to him.
But look, we got to stop right here on L. You heard me? L might be the most misunderstood coach.
See what I'm
in
telling
you know
but
why?
He's the best person in the world, bro.
But every kid that really
love him.
They love him.
Real shit.
Whether they understood him at the time or not, you heard me? But he gonna give your kid a sense of
nigga, I'm 30. From bitty lead, man. That was my coach. That little gray ass truck. This before the new one. I'm talking about we 12, 20 deep on that little thing. Bill Cash. Let's get it. But I love that nigga like a father, for real, real. To the point where it's like when I first ever got shot, the hospital, like if I'm in the hood, like when I after I hurt myself, couldn't play ball no more, man, that man come to the store every day, know what I'm doing, and start to tell me, watch yourself. Like, you know, don't do this like that. Like, damn, you ain't only my coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I was brought up, so you still, you know, got that same love for me, even though, you know what I'm saying, there's something else. That's just like Coach Fleet. Like, you know, all my coaches, like, I still, like, every day get text messages in the morning from them.
Right.
Like, cause it's just like that's what I wanted to do. But once that accident, then I got shot. It just that shit was over with.
Right. No, and that's why I think I don't know if I could say New Orleans is a special place or just the ghetto in general, because
it's the ghetto, bro.
It's a thin line between good and bad. All right, like you gonna see a lot of. Like your coaches, your best coaches was ex-drug dealers, ex-niggas who done been through all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And some of the like the green niggas who just been coaching their whole life not gonna always be able to get through to a ghetto kid that their mama didn't doing. You know
different.
They family going through Joses and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like you might look at a person like L, which L might talk to a child or look, L gave an after game speech, you heard me? Now, my son was supposed to go play for L, but we live in the East, so I gave him the Bam first because Bam was already here, and I like once I locked in with you,
Joe Brown,
yeah.
Bam.
So I gave him the Bam. So when they played each other, Joe Brown beat Pontchartrain.
Yeah.
L after game speech was, listen, I can't teach y'all how to dribble no ball. Go home, get a basketball. I can't teach you that.
Yeah, I'm talking about, bro. Listen, like, no, bro, I swear to God, son, man, bro, I done had an after game speech. Like, I'm thinking he about to finally give me some props. Yeah, and the way, you know, and like, but I can't hold on to the ball. Man, come on, we won. Man, that man ain't about to let you feel no type of he bragging for you. I don't give a man. I'm talking about, bro. We done been in Atlanta. No, we was in Miami one time, All-Star game. Bro, I was outside their room. Man, that nigga was bragging on me for a little while. Boy, it just went to going off. I'm just a bitch. Like, I was happy as a motherfucker listening to the dope. Boy, before you know it, I'm like, damn, dog. But I'm telling you, that nigga, bro, when he get around your parents, great. He did great in there. This nigga here. Like, man, that was a cold-blooded nigga, though, bro.
Unorthodox coach.
Man,
but he have so many ghetto kids under his belt.
Man, that nigga got kids under his belt, bro.
That he made
like
great.
Real shit. Bro, I remember what the AAU team was. L wasn't coaching. Sidney was coaching for the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, L came to the game, said something. You know, Greg Monroe played for Panther Select at that time.
Right.
Big Greg Monroe.
Right.
That nigga L say, and how the fuck y'all gonna have this big ass child playing with these? Man, they put that nigga out of line, son. I'm like, man. Like, L ain't taking no L. He ain't, that's the right name for him. Boy, he lose. I don't know, bro. That nigga I ain't lying, dude. That nigga told me that, it's like, all us was see, my cousin is Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
All right.
So it was like he went to St. Aug, that number 7.
Right.
Me and Chris Baptiste was supposed to go, right? I ain't cut my hair. So I went to Gregory.
Right.
Chris went to Desterham and then went to St. Aug and tried to start thugging. So us two that were supposed to go after him was a no-no.
Right.
That's why you see Tyron and you see Leonard.
Right.
before Tyron, B, and Chris Baptiste.
Wow.
So it's just the two before them two, but before Leonard and Tyron,
Right.
me and Chris.
Wow.
Real shit, I ain't cut my hair. That's all them came from the All-Star team.
What made you choose music?
Like,
Because like you say, all right, you're in the streets,
yeah,
get indicted,
yeah.
mobile detailing,
Business,
have a child.
period. Yeah, like,
You
I'm going to keep it
dig?
real. Rap, like, it's always been.
I don't see rap in that mix.
Like, I
you
know
what I'm saying?
because it's like this. All right, my grandma, where I told you she lived at, was behind, Fat and all that was behind my grandma's house. So I used to just go through the fence and everybody, bitch, Soulja Slim, everybody. They smoking weed, chaotic. Everybody who rap in New Orleans used to be right there and let a nigga hit the weed one time, just start rapping. And just the image, I always, like, been neat, clean, or shy of little nigga. So it just, like, it used to be like P.T. Shorty. Like, before I ever went to jail, nigga gave me penitentiary shorty. Bitch, how that's gonna be my first rap name? Like, I ain't never went to the game yet. I'm telling you, so it just like, just growing up like that. I mean, just growing up, I always was good at sports or just like, you know, like, as far as just like the kid that stick out. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, I used to be like 7, 8 and shit. My grandma used to be like, go put the clothes on, give me the TV remote, and just like I'm at a show, like I'm just rapping and shit. Like, so it just been something I always wanted to do. Like, I used to be beefing with Bow Wow in my head. Like, I like as far as, because that's the way you want to be. It's like
Right.
on some shit. Then my girlfriend at that time said she like Bow Wow.
Right.
Bitch. Bow Wow, bitch. And so it's just like rap just was something I always wanted to do. But since I told you I was less fortunate on the education side, like, I ain't know like about a real studio, like different shit like that,
Right.
different shit like that. If I tell you how I got to a real studio for the first time, this would be funny as fuck. We riding on a bike, we coming out the project, coming up Paris. All right, I'm on a handlebar. No, I'm on a handlebar. Phone ride me. This bitch don't never want to ride me on the handlebars. But this day, I'm glad he did that. Bitch said, I'ma ride you. Riding. Bro, I just remember we turn on Trafalgar. I'm like, boy, the police coming. The bitch going, woo, this the police and the MPs.
Right.
Woo, this is all you hear. Bitch, I'm like, boy, whoo, I jump off that bitch. I'm booking. I just remember my cousin them, when they were older, used to run across, what the fuck, that's Trafalgar. That other street when you're going to Pan Am.
All right.
But I hit the fences. I fly through that bitch. Boy, I jump across the street. I run some more. I jump. Now I'm on this side almost in the back of the post office. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Bro, I just hear music playing and something like this. The door crack. Man, I ran in that bitch, took the gun out of my waist, moved the brick that I saw was loose, put the gun behind there, stuffed that bitch back. The door halfway open. I run, close the door. Everybody in that bitch. That's all you hear. Whoa, police calls. Why? They got a nigga in the studio rapping all type of gangster rap. He like, wait, what happened? Because he rapping, but he must have said stop. Nah, I know. And ain't nobody reply to him. He come out that bitch. By then they like moving somewhere. So I got my gun in my hand. That boy closed it. I'm like, man, him and all that fucking gangster
remember who it was?
No, I wish I did remember this scary ass. But we were by Carney Studio. I know, we were by Carney. You know who Carney is?
No, I don't know.
He make beats.
All right.
You know Carney?
He's in the.
Huh? Only fire. So you know what Carney at. So you know how I came through that bitch. You know I ain't lying. Bro, I'm talking about, guess what? I went in the boot after that nigga and they lead to like.
That day?
No, I ain't leave that day. You got me fucked up. I slept. I left the next morning. Fuck around. The police ain't looking for him no more. Guess what my partner was, though? In jail.
What?
Because they couldn't find me. They took him for something trespassing. Fuck it, I ain't go that night. Real shit, I was out of there, ass elbows, and turned into a rap. Real shit.
So you ran your way to the studio.
That's why I said it had to be my gift. I ran to the studio. I swear to God, bro.
But it's funny because I always say all athletes want to be rappers and all rappers want to be athletes.
Well, know how I learned how to write a 16? No word lie. The same way I learned how to read. In my dream.
Explain that.
Like, if I was talking to that light,
Right.
and I was rapping, and they said, that's a ball. Then when I was asleep, I was sounding out alphabets. And I got a Fed magazine, because I remember niggas said, find something you'll enjoy and you're going to read it. I opened that bitch, and this was the article about Zopound and Lil Wayne shit. I just saw this again recently. It just started coming back up. Bitch, I was reading it. I say, I can read. Swear to God. On everything I love.
You know what's so crazy? I ain't smoked weed in a month and a half, right? I had a dream that I was somewhere, I was at a club or something, and I rolled up a gulp and I started smoking it. And as I'm smoking, I'm like, bitch, you stop smoking weed, bitch. And I felt bad, and I felt all the, I'm like, I did stop, but I felt the weed going, like I felt the smoke, I felt everything. You did. When I woke up, I was mad. I'm like, bitch, what you doing smoking? Bitch, I'm like, boy, that was a whole dream. But just the other night, just the other night, I had a dream. I got fired from both of my jobs. I only had 2 jobs. I got fired from both of my jobs, and I was pissed. I woke up pissed off. And I'm like, boy, that shit felt fucking real. That shit felt like a whole different universe. So the fact that you say that, your day just jogging me like, them dreams.
That shit real.
They got something with the dreams.
I done had the word. This the worst dream for anybody. In jail, right? Mm-hmm. And dream that you at home and you gotta wake up. Man, like you went to jail today. I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck. You in that bitch 9 years. Bitch, you went to jail today. That bitch started all over. I'm talking about, man.
Yo, my job right now, whenever shit start, like when they hire new people and they be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I be like, oh, they doing that sleep in jail shit. You know, like nigga be trying to sleep their time away. Oh, you trying to jolt the bathroom.
That's all you trying to jolt the bathroom. Yeah, that is all. Shit. Once you start doing time, you gonna learn. Ain't no sleeping. How the fuck you gonna sleep away? The first 365. Then you got another 365. Then you got another 365. Then you got another 365. Man, stop thinking about 365. I guarantee you don't want to go to sleep. You gonna learn how this bitch work. Real shit. I'm up in the morning. Fuck wrong with you? I got something to do. Bitch, you gonna have a million things to do in this room. I'm telling you.
So finally, you find music, right? How did that shape you? Like, what was the next thing? Like, because you're in the studio, but you ain't no rapper yet. But you learning.
I'm just learning. I'm going sometimes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to prison.
Right.
Like, all right.
What you went to prison for?
Distribution of heroin.
All right. Back on the same shit, right?
Fuck yeah.
Right, all right.
Again.
Right.
Boom.
I feel like the story important to tell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But, you know, I come home. Well, when I was in the halfway house, I go to work. Nigga like, say, Red Vixen, y'all jail. I don't know who home is, but why? The night the nigga everybody talking about, when he came, man, I done bought a bottom rack for him, got him some real sprays, get that boy like a $50 store. I ain't even knowing this what it is.
Right.
So, did that, you know, jam with dude.
Rose kid?
Yeah.
All right.
Me feet, Chinese feet. Like.
Black Balloon.
Right. Like, you know, dude, just a genuine nigga, just bringing a nigga around it. And I'm just seeing shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just get in it. I already got the business part. You know what I'm saying? As far as the bread and different shit going. Right. Like, when I started the trenches shit, like, bro, man, we sold over probably like, man, 300,000 of them shirts. Then, you know, my partner got killed in it. So they indicted me on his charge.
Wow.
Like, nigga got killed in Polo. Nigga got killed in Tommy. Nigga got killed in all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that shit drift the nigga away from the clothes part.
Right. Cause nigga ain't think they could get indicted off of clothes.
When you got people getting murdered and then it was like the last thing he said was bro them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how that shit went.
Right.
Different shit like that with the music. Fuck, just traveling along with making the bread. I'm meeting different people from young boy to meet from fuck. You know that famous shit, however you want to say it. But I'm meeting people. I'm in the we as far as like 4 p.m. We locked in. This before music.
Right.
Like this before Lil Baby rapping.
Right.
Like so it just like start seeing niggas really like damn. Last month, this month. So the shit start getting believable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it. Like as far as all my brothers, all my partners, I'm building a team doing it. I'm like getting invited to labels, different shit like that. But I ain't business savvy and I ain't got nobody in that spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm doing it. It's just like chasing your tail if you ain't got it structured right. And then I done been in some shit to where, like, it's either, man, I done been in one situation where the shit turned out this nigga a punk. If you think I'm gonna go punk, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'd rather do the rest of my shit in here before I be a famous rapper punk.
Right.
So it's just like a lot of shit come with this industry.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody had their interest. So it's not, and when people say they have a homosexual agenda, like in hip hop and entertainment business, I think everybody have their own agenda. Like if you into homosexuality, if you into whatever you into, you know what I'm saying? They have, when you have money and power, you could push your agenda. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker into anything, they can push their agenda. Just so happen, you know, like especially in Atlanta, you moving around Atlanta, a lot of them dudes.
We in LA. I'm talking about nigga, what you call that? Santa Monica, Universal Mansion. We performing. Nigga, they got raves in the garage, all type of shit. Nigga, I'm fucked up. Nigga, swing the door up and hold the door. My brother and them went, you know, they ran in there. They decided they see this shit. Boy, try to hold the door, but he's saying, yeah, that one a hard top, and I like this. I grab the door, you walk first. I ain't you. What the fuck I look like? You holding the door? What you about to look at me or something?
Right.
So I probably done blew the opportunity to just be one of them niggas.
But kind of like what 50 Cent said when he was saying, Puff Daddy was like, nigga,
Puff
come on,
Daddy
let's go
trying to hit that ass.
shopping. Nigga like, man, come on, let's go shopping. Nigga like, you trying to take me shopping? Like, you trying to just take me shopping?
That
Like,
shit don't even
like,
sound right. Bitch, let's go hit the mall or something.
First of all, I'm rich.
Like, yeah.
I'm rich and
I'm
you
rich
rich.
too.
Why you gotta go take me shopping? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you want to see what I
agendas.
put on? Like, man, that shit ain't, that's what I'm telling you. They agendas is totally different from yours.
Right.
Then at the end of the day, bro, being smart is not always, like, it's always good. But seeing them type of situations, like, they don't, if you conscious, they don't want that.
They don't like that.
They don't like that.
Right.
If you want fame more than anything and money more than anything, a smart dummy,
Right.
they love that.
But I think the streets kind of operate similar. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it. Because like when you're a drug dealer or you doing anything that's notorious to the common public, right? You're always looking for people that's willing to do it. Like you looking for opportunity. Like even Deion Sanders, he said he want his quarterback to have mom and dad. A single, like, and he said all his defensive players, he want them to come from single parent households. That's what he looked for. Because he said
that anger.
Yeah.
That anger, you can't find nowhere else.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Yeah.
Some shit that hurt you from a mom or a dad, I'm putting you on defense.
Right.
You a monster.
Right.
Something that hurt you.
Right.
What could hurt you? Nothing.
Nothing. And but it's that same formula that drug dealers use, the entertainment people use. Like you when you recruiting and you trying to build a thing like that, and you just need a person that's gonna play their part. Right. I don't need you to be Big Meech. I'm Big Meech. Everybody needs you to do this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
But you gotta find a do this nigga.
Yes. So that formula kind of work all the way across
My mama
the board.
always told me this: a friend is to be used, not misused. People are looking for the misuse type of friend.
Right.
I want the friend I could use.
Right.
I don't want the friend I could misuse. It don't supposed to go like
And
that.
I hear a lot of women in New Orleans, they say, motherfucker not about to use me. If I can't use you, get the fuck from around me.
For real. Because at the end of the day,
Because I want you to use, like as a man,
Yeah.
I'm your man, you better use me while I'm here, because I might not fuck with you next year.
Real shit,
So
'cause at the
while
end of
I'm
the
here
day,
and I'm providing for you, you better use me. I'm not going to respect you if you don't. Oh, the
I'm gonna
dump.
be gone. Real shit. Because at the end of the day, you ain't. I don't feel that.
We dropping a lot of jewels here. Like,
like I don't feel that alpha.
Yeah.
If I don't feel like that part of, I want independency. Don't get me wrong, but like I know what I bring.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like nigga ain't. You know your work.
Right.
Fuck, that's just part of that, man.
So all right, so you run it, you get indicted. Well, you pass the indictment. You go to jail again, right? What happened in jail?
The last time,
yeah,
I learned how to read.
right.
I humbled myself. That last jokes I took and analyzed me. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you get it, like, I took that one to say, look, like, you know, nigga be in the street, boy, at 21, I'm gonna be a millionaire. You don't do it then. 25, I'm gonna be a millionaire. You don't do it then. I made my 25th birthday incarcerated. So it's like 30, I'm gonna hit that bitch. Like, I took a loss for like down to 300 and some change before I made 30. Like, you was there. Like, I still was planning like I ain't take a loss for shit.
Right.
Cause the thing is to stay consistent.
Right.
But see, once my mama told me she had cancer, or my brother got killed, like, boy, that shit flipped everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where I'm at now. Like, as far as the rebuilding stage, as far as, like, from the car wash, like, that's going. Like, the clothing store, I let that go. All right, I started the eco-mobile detailing thing where we don't use water no more. We use steam, different shit like that. All right, I still got the stylists going that basically go to people with high-end shit and do that. Like, still into the businesses and different shit like that, but as far as rap, I took the artist development route to go through life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life ain't never hit a nigga how I hit a nigga this turn. It ain't about paper. It ain't about none of that. It was about actually, like, really feeling like, damn, I ain't never been a kid. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Damn, I ain't never had nobody to reciprocate the same shit I give.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that shit start hitting different. Like, so, I'm going to keep it real. For anybody, that should have been you to where you got to go for you. And when I say go for you, that don't mean be selfish, but you got to learn how to go for you. Like, if my whole life I woke up to make people happy, I forgot about what made me happy.
Right.
Because I'm making people happy. The minute that they're not happy, then I'm upside down. How?
Right.
When I'm not happy, I got to deal with it. But when everybody else ain't happy, I got to deal with it.
Right.
That's selfish as a motherfucker. Boy.
What God lay in that?
I'm Muslim. I was born Muslim.
So what's your how would you explain your relationship with God?
Man. How would I? In the image of him, I'm here.
Right.
Like, my relationship with God is my relationship with me. I love me. I love people. That's my relationship with God.
Right. Right.
Before I get off that mat, I ask God, let me do his work in the image of him. And if I told you sometime soon as I get off that rug, it's an act.
Right.
It's real. I'm close as fuck. I died at 16.
How you balance doing wrong?
See, it's crazy that you asked that. See, my understanding, my conscience is like, if it was like dead wrong, I'm talking about that wrong that you gotta repent for, I had to cover my heart, but it had to be done because at the end of the day, it's like some shit to where I'm the type of person, like, I'm going to take that beating. I'm going to take that beating through my understanding. But see that last time when I say don't hit me no more and you hit me again? I'm going to fuck you up. It's just the way it is. So doing wrong, it come from my understanding.
Right.
So it don't always be wrong.
Right. Right.
This is what I understand.
And look, and the only reason why I brought that back full circle, right, was because I spoke upon the learning of right and wrong as a ghetto boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who even watch my podcast or try to build understanding from some of the guests I have, they come from different walks of life,
Right.
and they in their walk of life, they got right and they got wrong. You heard me? Because they never had to straddle the fence.
I got a counselor. Like, I talk to somebody now. It's crazy as a motherfucker, but I understand that. Like, he green. He ain't even from here.
Right.
Different shit like that.
Right.
Like, the way dude talk to a nigga, I feel like, damn, like, this, I guess,
There's a
what I
therapist,
look
right?
for. Yeah.
You call him a counselor, but
I
you're
mean,
a
I
therapist,
don't know,
right?
fuck
Right,
that.
right, therapist,
Yeah,
right.
But you know when you're a badass kid, that's what they call it. You gonna go to the therapist,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
however, fuck.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to shape it because I watched Sopranos. I seen them go to a therapist. You
No,
did? So-
what's what is called?
therapist.
No, you just
What?
say the right word for it.
What?
A therapist, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what I called it?
Counselor.
Oh, yeah, because they talk to you too. Bitch, I'm toe up. But yeah, the therapist nigga.
Right.
You hear me? His big feet ass. I be ripping the fuck out of him. 2 good feet, big. The first thing I told that boy, man, your feet big as a motherfucker. But anyway, man, I'm talking to that boy. Like, the day made a year for my brother being killed.
Mm-hmm.
My primary care doctor had decided that I do that. But anyway, like the day it made a year, I had to see that boy the first time or whatever. Like, we had a deep, that shit was so deep to a nigga cried.
Right.
But it was like, man, like I don't know if a parent was supposed to give me what he was giving a nigga. But it felt like I wish I had that from my parents. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? Because certain times, nigga got in certain shit. Like, boy, nigga ain't had nobody to, nigga got somebody to call on, but it's like, through understanding or through right and wrong, like, they ain't gonna look at it like that. Like,
Right.
they just probably liable to take your side or some shit like that. I ain't looking for that. I'm looking for a parent.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
at the end of the day, it's like, certain shit nigga be questioning, like, for men. Like, nigga got a mama, but how many of us mamas set a nigga down and really talked about love? Like,
Right.
in a relationship or just different shit like that. We ain't never had all that.
But this something I noticed from New Orleans kids in general. And maybe it's only because I only work with New Orleans kids,
Yeah.
right? So this could be other places too. But in New Orleans, when I talk to the kids, I talk to parents all the time.
Yeah.
The kids always smarter than the parents.
You see, you
Kids always.
they are the parents.
Yes, like they and on my way over
They
here,
being
I was in my
dependent on,
car
like,
and
parents.
something told me. He said, "God hate old people." And I said, "Why the fuck I'm thinking this?" And I said, "Reason why God, I ain't gonna say God hate old people.
I understand what you're saying.
But you ever try to you ever try to tell an old person something?
Boy, what? Let me hit that. I understand deeply. Yeah.
You ever try to tell an old person something? You go back and try to tell a kid the same thing,
They
and
don't
the kid gonna be
understand
more
you.
receptive.
Yeah, of
even
what you
if they
said.
don't understand it, they gonna be receptive.
Or say, huh?
Yeah, they gonna be like, and they gonna
gonna
try
let
to
you know
figure
they
it out. You
listening.
did, yeah.
old motherfucker?
Oh, boy.
It ain't even boy no more.
Yeah, but look, I tried to tell my uncle that DirecTV had better ratings than Cox. The boy said, boy, I had Cox since 19. Boy, I ain't never leaving Cox.
That ain't even what you fussing about. That ain't even what you saying. They don't even listen to what you saying. Like, it's like you texting them when you talk to them. They just see it. I'm like,
boy, I ain't never leaving Cox, boy.
Yeah.
Cox could charge me $150, $300, but I ain't never leaving Cox. You dig?
Yeah,
never
man.
leaving Cox. So like that side of it, I just understand because like we as kids, we trying to learn from our parents and we go through a double fold being black men because then you find a woman and you want to listen to your woman, but then you come to a point where like, she a grown ass girl.
mom.
Like you a grown ass girl. You still a little girl. I really know better. Like I'ma do better by listening to myself. And then you start to trust yourself. And that's why a lot of times, like in the Bible during Hebrew times and stuff, like you wasn't grown till you was 30.
I could tell you something else. For a boy, like you saw your mama struggle, hurt.
Yeah.
So when you get in a relationship, right? You don't think that's still gonna be some triggers?
You don't think it then.
It is.
Yeah. You don't.
So
see
you
it
don't
until
want
it's-
hurt that person. You don't want to see that person struggle.
Right.
Different shit like that.
Right.
But that's from something else.
Right.
So if that person no good and hiding it, but showing you a hurt, or you only reflecting off of your mom.
Right.
So if you had that as strong as it was, it could tell you. As in a mama.
But I think a lot of times we hide, like as parents, right? We hide a lot, and that's why I say it take a village.
Who? I ain't hiding a fucking thing from none of my six.
But it do take a village
It do.
because however you parent, right? It becomes stale in the room.
Right.
Like it becomes stale just like coaches. They pay
Yeah.
these coaches millions of dollars to come through and coach these players, then they fire them.
Right.
And it's not that the coach not no good, they say his voice became stale in
Yeah.
the room because it take a village, it take a real village to be able
Everybody.
to. Yeah, so you might be able to tell you might tell your child something, but I might tell him the same thing. He be like, boy, Dad, coach told me. He be like, bitch, I've been telling you this
Why
for
you think they hit polygamy?
Right.
Why you think they hit it?
Cause they know niggas gonna come up off of that. Niggas gonna come up off of that. What you mean? Niggas gonna come up off of that.
The motherfuckers that's up, they're hiding polygamy.
Yeah.
Rihanna,
Yeah.
Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's a couple.
Yeah.
The strength
Right.
in polygamy
Right.
is like show white sister wives, blacks, you fucking with that hoe and woo, but if you lie, you getting away with it.
Right. Right.
Can you say a man fine?
No.
Can you say a man pretty?
No.
Can a woman?
Yeah.
Can another woman turn a woman on?
Yeah.
Can a man turn a man on?
No. Right. Right.
So that stale room. Remember when the house had a mama and a grandma?
Right.
What's the difference in sister wives?
Right.
That one man dealing with her?
But you gotta think about this though, bro.
I'm listening.
We live in a time where a woman could look at another woman's children and be like, she judged them children. But we got a thing on the poke that me and my partner say all the time. I don't even know if I should say this, but we got a thing that say swinging dicks make a poke. All right?
Right.
Swinging dicks make a poke because a group of women
Yeah.
like they will rally behind this one nigga because the nigga behind one attribute of this nigga, and he used that attribute to rally and all them kids, and he gonna treat all them kids like it. That's what coaches do.
Right.
They treat all them kids like they his kids.
Right.
They come from all kind of different families.
Check this out. There's one head coach.
Right.
There's one rooster. There's one bull.
Right.
There's one goat.
Right.
Sheeps, hens, cows, That's alpha.
Right, alpha.
But that rooster, them 20 hands, that's him.
Right.
He the biggest rooster over here.
Yes.
That bull, them 20 cows of cattle, that's him.
Right.
Everybody say they're a goat, huh?
Right.
Who a sheep?
And you wonder why, and you sometimes you might wonder why they have, in every city you go in, they got 10 women and 1 man.
It's 15.
But all the women want 1 man.
It's 15.
Even in a classroom. You can have a classroom, right? All the girls gonna like 1 nigga. They gonna settle for the other niggas. Oh, that's his partner. All right. Or
Why they all can't settle for that 1 nigga?
Because the rules say they can't.
The rules say they can't?
Right.
Where that rule at?
From their mama. They got it from their mom. You gotta think about it.
She don't got nobody.
Yeah, but
she don't got nobody.
But guess what? She'll burn this whole house down and she can't have you.
She don't got nobody.
Mamas ain't used to do it. Like Martin Luther King's wife wasn't gonna burn their whole house, but Left Eye burn that whole fucking house down. Bitch, you Andre Rising, right. Bitch, I know you got hoes, but I'll burn this whole house down and leave with Tupac.
Why? Why? Why you gonna burn this whole house down and leave with Tupac?
Because her mama told her, you better not get played by no nigga.
But you think you leaving with Tupac?
Right.
You leaving with Tupac?
The alpha. A whole nother alpha. She gonna follow a whole nother alpha.
Tupac.
Right.
Tupac. Bitch, you gotta be one of them.
Right.
You think you leaving with Tupac and he don't have nobody else?
But she ain't about to be your other nigga. She ain't about to be one of yours.
That's because the perception and what people gonna see.
Exactly.
But check this out. That 1 nigga, all right. That 1 nigga with that bag, right? They'll accept him to do that.
Right.
Why?
Right.
That's strange.
But all right. So back to you, right? Where you at now? Because like we seen you lose a page. We seen you was in Cali, Atlanta. Man. Like you said, fucking with every major label and everything. Where you at now? Because now this the reemergence of Lil Bee.
Right. Where I'm at now, like, all the businesses, got all that straight. I got all them kids too. I balanced that off with them 6. Balance it off with the business. As far as the music, I got a single right now, Testimony. It's already done, mix and master, about to shoot the video, working on like which route a nigga gonna take it through the promotion. And I'm using all like platforms like Yearn to actually just reinvent my story or tell the fans and the people like how I got away from music or what happened in the background, different things like that. So I'm just reinventing myself.
Man, look, that's all telling me my son need to be picked up. I'm gonna pick him up. He good. All right. So and it was important for me to get back with you because like I ain't gonna say I feel responsible for being part of your growth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you was part of my growth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you was part of my being able to be a visionary.
I could sum this up for you. Because I don't never want the people to hear it like that or whatever. I'm going to say this. Like, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't did nothing for you I wouldn't do for a nigga laying on the ground outside.
Right.
What I'm saying is, like, so what if you might wasn't in a position to do the 1, 2, 3 steps, right? But I was. So this what I'm like through the Quran, through the Bible, whatever. Sacrifice yourself for others.
Right.
I'm in touch with him. So I ain't, that's God. Don't give it to me.
Right.
I ain't gonna accept it.
Right.
You see how I accept it, like, bitch, let me on up there. What, bitch, you forgot about me? That's how you should know. It ain't it's that same person could not have that same energy to something.
You know when you fucked me up? You fucked me up when you said, what, I gotta pay you? I'm like, this nigga never had to pay me nothing. Like,
but at the end of the day, you know how the world switch. That's a tactic for me, because I know one thing. You gonna move if I say I gotta pay you because you know one thing. We ain't gotta pay each other. But at the end of the day, you know I'm serious.
Right.
My thing is just this. Bro, let me tell you. What I know for sure is, like, motherfucker might not tell Benjamin. Benjamin motivated me to start doing this. B motivated me to start doing this.
Right.
Why? You could go anywhere else in the world. Atlanta. Say, Twin, turn me up. Bitch, Mississippi. All right, cub. That my big dog.
Right.
Bitch, anywhere else but here.
Right.
They ain't having it.
They ain't having it.
Why?
Because you know why? And I analyze this a lot. And that's why I love this city. Because it's true to the pulse of the country. All right? They won't lie to you. If you're high, they're gonna tell you high. They on your nut sack. You hear me? The day you not high, or them bitches not on your nut sack. Like you could hold on to that shit as long as you want to, and they do. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna let you know, boy, that shit not hot no more. So I always looked at this place as a laboratory, and I think everybody else in the country, as for like white people, as for politicians, I think they look at this place as a laboratory because they operate like a big city, but it's a city of 400,000. So it's a laboratory.
I don't think it was 350. How you went 4? Oh, these motherfuckers dying.
Like, but at the
like
same
200
time,
left.
every time 600 black people die, 1,200 white people move in. You hear me? So the population stand 400,000. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
the
fucked me
population,
up, gang.
the population stand 400,000. Look at the 7 where I stayed on Marie and St. Anthony. When I moved on that block, that was my first time living there. They said, boy, you wouldn't want to stay here 10 years ago, boy. But right now they got white people walking their dogs at 4 o'clock in the morning and they smoking meth in abandoned houses, burning them down and all type of shit. And these people who got trust funds, they could call their fucking mama and get $1 million in a bank account if they ever straighten their life up. But they fucking around.
You think they fucking around? They owning them properties from squatting.
Right. And a lot of them doing that. But because they all end up owning a lot of shit. So when I analyze this shit, I say, all right, this bitch is a real experiment because I have done marketing experiments here.
Right.
And then I was selling weed socks.
Right.
I started posting. I started putting my flyers wherever anybody was standing up. I said, I'm going to put a flyer everywhere somebody's standing up waiting. So every elevator in the city, every bus stop in the city, I sell weed on the flyer. And they had socks, real small. Motherfuckers was calling me, dying laughing like, boy, I'm at the red light, fucked up, nigga, put a sign, say I sell weed. They said, I got close, that bitch said socks, man, I want 10 pair. You did? Like, nigga was selling.
That's a cold-ass marketing
But it's I call it guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
it's
said I was
going to
put a QR code in every mailbox in the city.
Say when I tell you, when I tell you, when I tell you, this bitch is really like a marketing. So I look at you in the vision of a Jay-Z
or
stuff like that because bro. I see you have the energy of marketing. You have the energy of business. And if you could sell drugs, my nigga, you could sell anything. You could sell sugar, flour, clothes.
Nigga, I sold lemonade, nigga.
Right.
Family B lemonade. Nigga, I got a lemonade brand.
You can sell anything. And you was one of the first people I was able to see hands-on, like, get close to. You know what I'm saying? And say, all right, this dude is like a brain. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know your past. I didn't know nothing really about you, but I seen the energy and I just knew that you was cut from that cloth.
Real
you know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like
here, bro.
What's next for you?
What's next, like as far as like through the music for me, I'm staying focused and balancing everything out with my children, but all the entities for my children, I got 6. Each one of them own a business.
Right.
Shoot, that's a focus too.
Right.
Yeah.
So your next so now you thinking legacy.
Yeah, like if just say for instance, and I'm gonna make this quick. If all right, each one of my kids have 50,000 products, all right, and sell it at $50, that's $5 million.
Right.
Each one of their businesses is something retail where you're reselling it. If I could get you 50,000 pieces, for you 50,000 pieces, you 50,000 pieces, the oldest one is 14. Think about it.
Right. Right.
That's 5 million times 6.
And I want to say this on camera. I really want to get your boys involved in my 7-on-7 that I got to get ready. It's really building. You know what I'm saying? Like, we building a real brotherhood. All the kids out there, they making names for themselves. The last 2 years we've been doing it, the kids been out there really making names for themselves in the community.
Real shit.
And I've been trying to get them to realize that if you not shit in your community, you not shit. Like it don't. Like,
that's what Florida stand up at.
Yeah. Cause see, they try to take our kids and shine them up and make them seem like, oh, you the shit because you outside of New Orleans. Like, you the shit because you here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You the shit because you make a difference here. You know what I'm saying? Where your grandmother came from, where you know what I'm saying? Where your ancestry come from. That's what makes you the shit.
Right.
Not necessarily when you leave, you know what I'm saying?
No gift to
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
bro.
so I really want your kids to be a part of that because
man,
they're the same age as my kids.
Right.
And I fell in love with them. I only met them. I met them one time.
Real
And I
shit.
fell in love with them.
The boys, man. The
Because they had a real, like, a solid feel to them. Like, they was like,
you know, that's my nephews and my sons.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
like, I only got 2 sons, all the rest girls, but all the rest of them little boys is my nephew. That's why I say, like, I ain't gon', like, if one ain't, none ain't.
Right.
Like, fuck, because you my son and this my nephew.
Right.
Like, his daddy come around, but still, like,
And once you tell me that's your son,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck what the relation
what I'm
is.
saying. I
That's
ain't
your
saying it
son.
wasn't nothing else
You're
but my
like, that's your
sons.
son, and I'm treating
what
him
it
like
is.
that's my son. You know what I'm saying?
All good,
and
man.
I appreciate you coming. Like, I appreciate you coming here. We like on our next season, we doing all recaps of
everything, man. Stop
and it's only right for me to start with you because
I
you
appreciate
started me.
that,
You
man.
did, like,
Real
you started
shit,
me.
Man.
You did,
Stop
like
playing. God started us, man. We ain't taking the credit for this shit. We can't take the credit. Shouts out to my dog Do in the building, man. You know I got to keep the realest with me, man. Real shit, man.
Look, in this Benjamin's Room podcast, episode 29, we here with Lil B. You heard me? We drop nothing but jewels. Hopefully, if you watch this podcast, you gonna get a lot of jewels, especially if you're a ghetto kid, you coming from nothing. Dog, you gonna get a lot of jewels from this shit, dog. And it could have been 6 hours and we had 6 hours. Trust me, because the way we run it, we could have. We ain't even get to get the ties with the Chinese people and how much Chinese people really, how racism don't really exist and all that. I want to tap into all that, but
we got it,
like.
man.
You one of my founders, bro, and we gonna tap into that shit because that's important for them to know.
Like I said, I want you to be behind the camera and the mic on my documentary.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could play that role. So we ain't stopping here. Yeah. It's like we gonna go and let them see what it is for real. Like, you know, we could sit right here and talk all day.
Right.
But you got learners through their eyes, learners through their feel, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than here, even for y'all platform. Like, I feel like here, all right, cool, but let this be seen where they story at too, cause you could bring this where they safe at. Tell your story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you need to show something or different shit like that, show and tell, different shit. Come up with something that's gonna keep the shit.
Right.
Like, just don't keep it at this. This will get stale too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
definitely. Benjamin's Room Podcast, episode 29. And we out.
Cause I'm telling the truth, street got me honest. Feel like I'm crying my heart out. The streets got me exhausted. Feel like I'm crying my heart out. I'm just a sinner, trying to repent for the wrong routes. This shit I done dealt out. Oh, the street got me honest. Feel like I'm crying my heart out. As a sinner, I ask God why. Every man should hold his own, but a sinner can't reply.